Good morning, everybody. This is Christy from the Be the Light YouTube channel. I thank you so much for stopping by. And as always, I send you love. I am going to try and get this video done quickly today. And I always say that. And every time I say that, they're pretty lengthy. But this is about the energies that are associated with the Orion's Gate, Sirius, Orion, and the lineup of the Great Pyramids. Now, one thing I want you to really understand is that if it doesn't resonate with you, this is not a part of your path. There are different journeys within light where, like, if you listen to a video and it feels like it, oh yeah, this is what I'm experiencing, it's because we are meant to still serve a purpose from this type of light. Yet the light is being distributed to everyone according to their path. We can have the same light guiding us on a different journey. That's why resonation is so important. If it makes sense to you, it's a part of you. If it interests you, it's a part of you, and a spark is being ignited and guiding you somewhere. If it causes you fear, it is the guidance system that says you have way too many emotions inside of you that are controlling you. It doesn't necessarily have to be about what you are talking about or what you are observing. In reality, it's all about you. Everything that we see from the world, everything that we are experiencing ourselves is about our own journey, which means it's about our own heart. And we have to make sure that we stay centered in our own journey. I tell you what, yeah, this video is probably going to be lengthy. Here I go. I have been triggered again. I fell for it again. And all of this week, I have been falling for, and I am now going to be the type of person that uses the word the Matrix. Because I fell for the Matrix. I have been falling for certain types of posts lately, or I have been observing it, and it's making me think something, and I'm like, are you serious? And then I want to create a post. You know, I'm a very, I can write, my words could really hit people hard especially when I write it, at least from my perspective and from what other people tell me about. I have had a gift of words, except I had had a hard time, or a difficult time in my past anyway, getting my thoughts from my heart to my mouth to speak it properly, because I had insecurity, so much fear, anxiety, I lacked self-worth and doubt, and all of that craziness that I believed from the Matrix and took it in. So I have been falling for, of course, everything that's been going on in the world right now, and I'm not going to speak about it because I don't believe in it. That's the thing. I don't believe in anything anymore other than my heart, which is love, which is spirit. If it doesn't reflect love and spirit, it is false. The Matrix is the control system that makes you feel negative emotions, makes you think a negative thought. And I almost became a part of it. I have been creating post after post, yet not posting them. I had so many very beautiful, very inspiring things, but my heart kept telling me, this is not you. And so therefore I never posted them. I don't know how many I did. I created, I backed out. I created, I backed out. Our hearts will always guide us to what is true. And if it makes you feel terrible, it isn't true. It's not the truth in you. It's something that is happening in the matrix that is making you false. You are the false one when you have the negative emotion. You become the false one when you give back that negativity. If you are feeling that falsehood, the negative emotion, it is trying, Spirit is trying to make you free yourself from it, so you don't become a part of that matrix. Gosh. You know, I have had a history of sexual abuse stemming from my childhood. That has been one of my triggers as to what is going on in the background, in the collective, that the world that Trump is actually trying to defeat now. And I want to give my viewpoints. I have been healed from that. I want to express. I have been healed from that. Yet, the matrix, which is a part of falsehood, is attempting to drag me back in by using that pain of mine from a long time ago that I already have healed myself from. But it will always attempt to trigger you to making you feel weakened, lacking, desperate, anxious, fear-based, by making you recall something, even if you have healed yourself from it. It will always attempt. And that's what I have been noticing on my feed, is abuse. Childhood abuse. Because that's where, of course, I was abused at. I also was left abandoned by adult figures. So it knew that it could drag me back in to the swamp and suffocate me. The Matrix knows everything about your pain. God, Spirit, Source, the natural laws of this universe knows everything about your heart, which is linked to your truth, which is linked to God, Source, Spirit, whatever you resonate with. The Matrix worldviews from everybody, from your family, if it doesn't resonate with your true spirit, you are going to feel bad. It's going to make you feel bad. Which means it's false, which means it's not you, and you need to refrain from being a part of it. The more aware that you are, the more that you will not become a part of the matrix, of that falsehood, of the lie, of that swamp. The gift of discernment is tricky. It's tricky because they will use everything they have in their power to get you. So, having said that, now, the previous night, I think it was the 25th, the night of the 25th, leading up to yesterday's date, yes, which was an 8-day, the beginning of the Lion's Gate. I had a very restless night, and I continuously received. Although what I received might be really small in amount of number, you know, how we receive comes in waves, because it's energy. It comes in energy waves that just comes in a transmission, and there'll be a hidden code in it, and then kind of like, you know, moving waves again, a code. So although I might have 5 things here, it took the time frame was spread out between the entire night. And so I just wanted to fill you in about that. If you are not intuitive, clairvoyant, or receive information intuitively, then I just wanted to kind of let you understand how it works. For me, anyway. How it works for others, I don't know. And sometimes it comes in bits and pieces, like from day to day to day to day. Like I received some more information about what took place the other day. But anyway, a lot of people are talking about intense leg pain, feeling off balance, body odor as well, nauseous and things like that. Of course, as Sirius is aligning with the Sun and Leo in the Great Pyramids, our own central sun, which is our solar plexus, is also aligning, which is causing that form of turning and turning and turning, where it makes you, one, nauseous because it's becoming aligned with the central sun of the universe, and aligning within you to match. The solar plexus is also our powerhouse. It is our powerhouse. It's like that feeling when you get punched in the gut. And if you don't feel strong, you're always lumped over. You're insecure. You're doubting yourself, like your shoulders are sunken in. I also felt a punch in the stomach for 2 days. Literally, the wind was knocked out of me, telling me that we are coming online. And so I saw a fire coming up from the bottom of the pyramid or triangle, rising upward to the top. If you don't know, the pyramids have an underground triangular fixture, which actually makes up a diamond shape, or the rhombus. I mentioned the rhombus also in one of my previous videos, and I'm sorry I don't recollect. But the rhombus in itself, when you are actually shown this within your own mind's eye or observe it, it is meant to tell you that you have reached balance, and you are at that level where things won't trigger you. Things won't bother you, affect you. And so I know I saw that last week or so. I forget. It's reassuring me that that's what we are doing. I know, and I am not so gullible or egotistical to think that everything that God reveals to me is what I have currently. I know that is not the case. But I take his message in a positive context as well as a lesson. I flip it, so I make it positive to always keep my heart in alignment with Source, because he is guiding us. He's telling us, you have balance, or you can have balance. You are light, or you can have light, but you have to do this, 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 and this. There's always a lesson in every single thing. I'm sorry I am so excited about this. This type of energy here has just hit me during this video, where I have great power. You see what I'm talking about? Your powerhouse is your solar plexus, and we are aligning with it. So the fire, there's a lot of understanding or information about fire. There's a lot of information between what I am telling you. It all goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and I hope to make a separate video about the deepness of it all. But I want to keep it as simple as I possibly can, to not take up so much time, because I have to get on with my own day as well. I have nurses coming for my mother-in-law shortly, so I can't be here all day, although I want to. And so the fire rose that way, and an image appeared to me out of the darkness. This person, it was light, but not visible light yet. I knew it was light. I began to sing. I don't know this song, but I began to sing that song. Oh gosh, I don't know the name of the song at all, period, because I had to look this up. It comes from a movie with Lady Gaga and a guy when they were singing together. But I began to sing in the shallow, shallow. I come from the shallows now. That comes from the song anyway. And then I saw a downward facing triangle, and that's when I heard the phrase, to receive is to believe. So we have the fire in an upside down triangle rising from the tip and spreading out. We have a person who is emerging from the darkness, and which means coming out of the shadows, coming out of the shallow. Sometimes what I receive is point on, and then sometimes you have to really figure it out on your own. Spirit wants us to understand based upon our own level of understanding, as well as how far are we willing to go for our own truth. If you settle for something, you will never go beyond that settlement. And then, of course, the downward facing triangle is the feminine. The fire going upward, fire is the masculine energy. It takes fire to purify. Ever since the beginning of time, fire has been created to, as sacrificial practices, to give something. People have burned their crops at the end of the season to purify the land. Fires will take place naturally as a result of purification as well. Fire is the spirit. He is rising from within us during this time. The feet pain, the discomfort that you're feeling, and you might be feeling a form of heat that isn't so hot like it used to be when we were first beginning our journey. And I don't know where you guys are, but I know in the very beginning of my awareness to my awakening process, the heat was so intense that I couldn't function. I was so overcome by an internal heat that I was so uncomfortable. That is part of what the Holy Spirit is doing within you to help purge out negative emotions. But now we are at the more purification to receive end of it all. We are in the receiving part, but still within that receiving part has to be a slight discomfort. If there's not a slight discomfort, you don't know you're receiving anything. But if you don't believe in something, which means you don't understand in something, you will never receive it. Understanding makes you believe something. You have to know about something and its existence to believe in it. It's like I knew about God, I knew about Christ, but I didn't believe in Him because my heart didn't act on everything that He stands for, which is what I'm supposed to stand for in truth. I lived within fear. I lived within anxiety, with every single lower vibrational emotion. That tells you you don't believe. Your life will tell you you don't believe. Your faith is not strong enough to move those mountains. So saying that, what I just said is that the fire is being lifted within us. Christ is a fire. He is the Holy Spirit. It takes that purification process to emerge His soul within you. So you have to have that fire And the fire won't be so intense right now because we are receiving, which means it's the cooling effect. The sun also represents the fire. The moon represents the water. Because there is a balance here right now, like I told you, of the rhombus. And I also forgot to mention that I saw the octagon. The octagon is an 8-sided symbol that represents complete balance. It's a square trying to be a circle, trying to be a square. A square represents foundations. Fire, water, earth, and air represents being structured. And the circle, of course, is never ending. A cycle that never ends, which means infinite. And to become balanced means that the fire and the water are now merging together to allow. It takes that fire within you, which represents the Holy Spirit, to be kind of like shot straight up from our core and rises within our spine, our energy vortexes within us, to sit and ignite, where it will rest for a few days. I will make a separate video about this process. It will be between some 1 to 3 days. 3 days is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He will rise within you, creating life. That's how you have the tree of life within you. So, I hope this makes sense. I have great energy right now, and so what I am really talking about might not make sense because I am so full of energy at this very moment. So I hope it resonates with you. We are receiving spirit. In other words, to make it simple, you are about to receive your spirit. And I talked about the Godhead, and that's what the energy is about. When you know your Godhead, when you know your source, you know your higher self, you know where you come from, and it takes that fire and water balance within us to help it rise. And I guess you can compare this is also called the Kundalini energy. And this is why when I have read about other people's experiences, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't match my own. We each have a different journey to experience. God expressed to me that I would be having the Holy Spirit months ago. And if I had listened to actually what I had been reading about, the process of it all, I could have not continued on my journey. But I was like, well, I believe in this, but something is a little off because it's not taking place yet. So I resonated with it, but parts of it didn't make sense yet. If it doesn't make sense yet, it's because you haven't completed it yet. Because not everybody, based upon our own individual journey, based upon everything that we must let go of, learning to let go of control and negativity in all aspects of who we are, pertaining to what we are supposed to be, is the key to receiving. And if you don't understand that concept, you can't receive, because understanding means that you believe in it. I kept searching for answers, whether asking myself, asking God, or searching for online. I always ask questions. I am always asking why. If it makes me feel bad, why? If this doesn't make sense, why? If this isn't happening, why? If I am experiencing this, well, why? Always ask why. Don't complain about it. Don't pick at it. Just ask why, and you will seek. You are seeking, and you will find answers. My journey resonates with Jesus Christ. I am learning to be Christ-like. Who you are learning to be, or who is your Godhead, I know nothing about. If you resonate with my videos, and you don't have to resonate with every single thing that I talk about, or what the part of my teachings are about, it could be clips here and clips there that resonate with you. It might not make sense to you right now, but if you feel connected, if something gives you that spark and understanding, in time, it's going to make sense to you. And that's when you will integrate what you are ready for. God says you will not receive anything that you don't believe in. You have to believe in your light. And your light is going to take you to wherever it is that you need to see and be aware of. And your spirit, which is your light, of course, will make you see a negative post and wants you to say, oh, I don't want any part of that. Your spirit and your light will make you listen to a video, such as myself, and see, does this resonate with me or does it cause me fear? You have to defeat fear. You have to defeat doubt. If something is making you feel uncomfortable, remove it. If it makes you feel good, flow with it. If you don't understand, ask why. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.